Hey, you guys, I received an email and I had it printed out so I could read this letter to you. It's from a man named Collin Zaffke. He told me I could say his name, use his name on here. He wrote the letter to me on April 5th of 2023 at 9:15 a.m. And Colin's name, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Zaffke, Zaffke. So I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm hoping I am. If you have a last name that's different or even a first name and you write to me and you want me to use your name, let me know how it's pronounced, right? Like I don't know if you guys have Facebook or not, but on Facebook, it asks you how you pronounce your name, like Michael, Mike and Cole. And then Lehre. So if you could spell it how it sounds, that would be great too, But anyway, so Colin writes to me. He says, "Hi, Mike. I was born in Jehovah's Witness." I'm gonna just read it as it is, okay? I'm not gonna correct anything or anything like that, because sometimes people have accents and so they might speak or write differently. So here we go. "Hi, Mike. I was a born in Jehovah's Witness." I'm glad I read that again. I was a born in Jehovah's Witness. I was born in 1980. I have two brothers who are still active witnesses. One is 45 and the other is 50. I'm the baby. So you're like my older brother. Where do I start? My waking up from the religion was a 30-year process. All I knew since I was born was the JW. I read the Bible and studied it book to book many times. I loved to read. In 6th grade, I read The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, over 1,000 pages. That's impressive. In 6th grade, I read The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, over 1,000 pages. I am an avid reader. I learned that Jesus was just an angel, so I never gave him importance. After I left the Borg, that's a nickname for people that used to belong to the Jehovah's Witnesses religion. They call it the Borg. It's an organization. I forget what the B stands for, but the Borg, O-R-G, stands for the organization, but I can't remember what the Borg means. Anyway, after I left the Borg, I had divorced my ex-wife, who was a borderline personality. In short, that's a narcissist plus 1,000. I was drained, soul dead, lost. We're talking 2014. I hadn't seen any YouTube videos, nothing. I started going to other churches, Adventists, evangelicals, Pentecostals, Baptists, non-denominationals, and at the end I attended the Catholic Church for over 3 years. Interestingly, I found more acceptance and understanding in the Catholic religion than in the JWs. So I was into it. I went to Catechismo, the classes where you learn about Catholicism. I learned prayers in Latin. Just like a good JW, I went all in until they taught me about purgatory and limbo. I was like, say what? I'm out. I never went back. I realized that all religions are the same. They all believe they have the truth and try to interpret the Bible. I was so fed up, I just decided to be an agnostic, if not an atheist. The problem is I live in an extremely religious country where being atheist is a capital crime. My wife, who I love dearly, is a firm believer, yet she knows how I feel and is constantly talking to me about Jesus. She was never a witness and knows how messed up their beliefs are. I feel like Jesus is after me. He's here in my house day after day, but my anger and resentment towards religion is so great, I just can't do it. What religion did to me was teach me that we're all just afraid. It just serves to control people and keep them in fear and guilty. Guilt and fear is not exclusive to men. Animals feel those things too. So, I'm done with religion and God. It's my reality, Mike. I respect what you do and always watch you. Kindest regards, Collin, Zaffke. So that's Colin's story, you guys. And I really appreciate you sharing that, Colin. And if any of you write to me and you want to share, I'm just going to read it. I'm not going to give you any opinions of mine. I'm not going to try to convince you to think differently or anything like that. I just appreciate that you shared your story. So I want to share it with the audience. And, you know, the comments are on. So if anybody wants to comment, and if Colin wants to get active in the comments, you guys can communicate back and forth. And that's cool, you know. Just if you can remember, be nice to each other. And be nice to Colin. Because, you know, if you haven't had a background like this, and you don't know what it's like to be raised in a cult. And when I say cult, I'm talking cult, you guys. We're not talking just cultish stuff. We're talking a true cult. Do you know how many people I hear that say I used to belong to this cult, they use the word loosely, and I suppose you could probably call a whole bunch of different religions cults, but it's like calling people narcissists. Colin here says that he had a narcissist in his life. And it was even, she had it, what? He said, plus 1,000. Someone with borderline personality, a narcissist plus 1,000. Now, I can't imagine a narcissist plus 1,000. A narcissist is truly a nightmare to deal with. And with a true narcissist. It's easy to call people narcissists or narcissistic behaviors, but dealing with a true narcissist is on such a crazy level. And that's why I'm talking about the cults. You belonged to a true cult that completely controls your life, and you are completely indoctrinated, brainwashed, subservient to them, where everything in your life, it revolves around the cult. Everything. And you cannot question the leaders of the cult. And questioning it leads to shunning and shaming. People disassociating and never talking to you again because you dare question the leaders. That's, you know, a cult is crazy. People die for their cult leaders. So, you know, when you make comments and communicate, you know, you got to take these things into mind, you guys, and have a heart for people, because you might think that you had it rough and you might compare yourself to them, but, you know, you never know. Until you've been there and lived in somebody else's shoes, you just never really know. So anyway, I really appreciate the letter, Colin. I hope I read it well, and I hope you guys understood it. If you want to hear it again, just, you know, rewind the video and listen to it again. I appreciate the story. And if you want to write in, you can write me a letter. My P.O. box is in the email, or it's in the description box on my here on each and every video of mine. But also, if you want to email me, I have a way of getting them printed. So I can go get them printed for you, no problem. I know I said in another video, you know, try not to email me, you know, because printing, I don't have a printer, so I got to go out, take time and all that. But my roommate Kevin has a printer, and he printed it for me. And if he can't, I'll just stop by a UPS store, no big deal. And just you know, give me time. Don't expect I can do it immediately. Sometimes things take time, because I just recently went through a whole bunch of craziness. I talked about it in my last video, and so he sent me that on April 5th, and you know, so it took me a little while to be able to get it to you. But anyway, that's it. So if you want to write in and share your testimony, your story, whatever it be, you know, tell us how religion affected you, or what anything else if you want to talk about. If you want to just share your testimony, share it. But I'm really interested in this subject. How did religion affect you? Even if you didn't have a religion, you were in some non-denominational thing. How did it affect you? What did people treat you like? What turned you on? What turned you off about it? All that. So, you know, and where you're at today and why you're where you're at. All right. So share your story if you'd like. I'd love to share. And anyway, I'll see you guys. I hope you have a great one. Thanks, Colin, once again for sharing your story. Love you, buddy. And God bless you all. And see you next time.